I am so excited to show you what I just got in the mail. I've been waiting for this for a while. Not quite a year. I really don't remember. That's how long it's been. But I got the X-Crawl Classics RPG Kickstarter today. Now look at this limited edition. It's so shiny. It's so cool. Let me tell you what X-Crawl Classics is. So X-Crawl Classics was created by Brendan LaSalle, and it was originally put out during D&D 3.0, during like the D20 revolution where everything was using D&D 3.0 mechanics. Then there was a 3.5 version and then a Pathfinder First Edition version. And now we have X-Crawl Classics. And X-Crawl Classics is a modification of Dungeon Crawl Classics by Goodman Games to make just a modern version of X-Crawl. And I like that I'm saying a modern version of X-Crawl built on a system that emulates how it feels to play old school RPGs. But it's perfect for X-Crawl because Dungeon Crawl Classics is absolutely insane. And then you get X-Crawl, and X-Crawl is American Gladiator plus Running Man, either the book or the movie, or Rollerball mixed with Battle Royale. The best way to describe it is with the back of the book. You're no scrub. You're a crawler, a monster-slaying, money-making, white-hot dungeon destroyer on your way to superstardom. You came for the glory and the gold, winning it in front of thousands of screaming fans, chanting your name, buying your merch, seeing the greatness of the empire reflected in you. Your squad is on the way to the top, and you will not let them down. You are entertaining people by raiding dungeons and doing like Dungeons and Dragons fantasy stuff. I want to show you some of the artwork. Like, look at this. It's just so cool. And then you've got this guy taking a selfie with a goblin. It's just ridiculous. I love it so much. I'm going to go through everything I got. I picked up, of course, the core rulebook because duh. Fortunately, Goodman Games has gotten really smart. They created a reference guide for DCC, and they did the same thing for XCC. It has everything. It has all of the crit tables, spell tables, the modifier rolls for all the different classes, everything like that. Just the stuff that players really need to be able to get to quickly, or that I need to get to quickly as the DJ. I am not a judge like in Dungeon Crawl Classics, and I'm not a game master or a dungeon master. I'm the dungeon jockey. I am the one that is creating the challenges that the players have to face to entertain the crowds. Now, do I mix it up on them sometimes? Yeah, because I want to keep it interesting for everyone involved. Are my players going to deal with it? Yeah, because, you know, they want to get their corporate sponsors. Like, it's hard to see on here, but they have like little logos and stuff on their gear. Anyways, yeah, this is the DJ screen. Gotta have a screen. Now, I'm not going to hide my rolls because I am a very big fan of whatever I roll is what is going to be happening in the game. I don't like fudging stuff, especially in like DCC style games. Next, I got all of the adventures. We've got Murder Mountain Smackdown, a level 0 adventure, and all of them have like the shiny logo, which is like a Kickstarter exclusive or something, which I don't really care that much about, but it's a nice little touch. This one is DJ Hard Knocks puts out a call for wannabe superstars from all over the empire. This is a chance for ordinary folk to rise above their origins and grab some of the glory and the gold for themselves. Can you survive his mountain playground full of beer drinking yetis, angry post cryptids, ice grommets, and more? And what is the cosmic Voyager? The answers are hidden on the mountain, and only the bravest stand a chance. One of the other things about this game is there's just a lot of satire of not only reality TV and the modern world, but tabletop RPGs in general. It's just so cool. Another thing this reminds me of is Heroes Die, because you have people watching you do all these exploits and you're becoming a hero. And I think that this would be a fun way to play Heroes Die in a tabletop RPG. You could take out like the corporate sponsorships and stuff that are obvious on the characters like gear, but you could replace that with like role-playing elements where they get back to the real world and they're having to do meet and greets and stuff, and all these characters are thinking about is like, I want to get back to the overworld. I want to fight, I want to loot, I want to kill stuff. And yeah, it's entertaining for them, but I'm here to get into the violence. And I think that's really, really cool. The next one is The Crawl, formerly known as Terror on the Tundra, which is a level 1 adventure. I'm not going to read the descriptions and all of them. They kind of explain themselves with the titles most of the time. like this one. Tropical Cataclysm. Now, it's pretty obvious what you're doing. You're fighting Florida man gators in an arena. It looks like it could have been a football field, and now it's a swamp with all these trippy gators and stuff, so that'll be cool. It's just so awesome. Everything about these, the most important thing, and I will try to post art as well, if I can get good images of these instead of just holding them up, it's the art. The art is absolutely amazing. There's just something special about this retro style. This is Please X-Crawl, Don't Hurt 'em. DJ Rosie the Riveting invites only the bravest, most cunning, most tenacious adventurers to her legendary Detroit X-Crawl event. You know you have to make the scene, but come prepared. She's got war turtles, purge zombies, killy putty, and more at her disposal. Every time I crack open one of these, I see just some ridiculous monster that is a play on a bunch of different monsters or like a very obvious spoof, and it's just so fun. This game is about kicking indoors, killing monsters, getting loot, getting paid, getting out of there, and it's going to be so fun. And if you want to turn it into a long campaign, you can. Like I was saying, you can have the outside of the fights elements be role-playing corporate sponsorship, be trying to get people to supply you certain gear, or maybe you're all in there against your will and you're just trying to figure out a way to get out. And hey, you have these abilities and you may live somewhere that's like a dystopian world that's trying to lock you down, but you're a trained assassin and your best friend picks locks and you have another friend that's a freaking wizard. I bet we can make a really compelling story with it. This has one of my favorite things from Dungeon Crawl Classics as well. The first one I mentioned was a level 0 adventure. That's because there's level 0 in here, just like Dungeon Crawl Classics, and you get what is called a player funnel. A player funnel is when these little NPC scrubs, that's what you're playing. There's occupations in here. Like in Dungeon Crawl Classics, one of them is like a gong farmer. That's the dude that picked up poop out of like outhouses and stuff. In here, let's see what some of their careers are real quick. Accountant, cab driver, dwarf stonemason, farmer, elf ne'er-do-well, a hunter, a nurse, odd job person, painter, plumber, postal worker, truck driver, just things like that. And each one gives like a set of gear. So if you're a luggage handler, you get Adventurers Pack A, and then you get to choose one piece of equipment, probably because you snatched it when you were carrying someone else's luggage. Or if you get a therapist, you get Adventures Pack A and 40 gold pieces. Pretty good. Just stuff like that. It's just so interesting. Next, we've got level 4, Death in the Dungeon of Tomorrow. So it's going to have some crazy sci-fi elements. It's going to be great. You know what I would do if I was running this? I would give it the feel of Kid Chameleon and I would roll that into the game. I would have different helmets throughout the adventure that players could wear and it would augment their abilities. And you know, what's better than something amazing like Kid Chameleon in this like retro futuristic feel? As another quick aside, X-Crawl Classics is cross-compatible with Dungeon Crawl Classics, DCC Lonkmar, DCC Dying Earth, Mutant Crawl Classics. You can take monsters from any of those and bring them in here. You can take gear from any of those and bring them in here. Or if you want to do something really crazy, you can be like, oh, my X-Crawl adventure somehow got sucked into this real fantasy world, and now we're going to die if we don't figure out a way to get back home. The entire like Goodman Games universe is just so cool because it all works together super well. And the way the monsters tend to work in here, it's very, very easy for you to roll monsters from like first edition and second edition D&D into these like really, really quick, really easy. So it's like, oh, hey, you ready for an X-Crawl Classics Ultimate Tournament? We're going to make it the first tournament that Gary Gygax created for D&D. Have fun surviving it. It's just so great. This last one that was part of the whole Kickstart Adventure collection is Bay City Firestorm. And look at all that. They're on lava, worrying about a fire mage up there in the air. It's super cool. And it's a San Francisco crawl. That's another thing. You can make themed crawls based on wherever you're at in your world tour. So you could do one in Texas where you're fighting like minotaurs, like Longhorn Minotaur, cowboys, or you could do something like Chicago's got like mutant gangsters that look like they're from the 1930s, do one in Japan, just everything. I want to do the Australian one where we have to run from kangaroos driving Ute Maloos. I will share one of those right here. It's one of my favorite cars of all time and I can't own one and I'm incredibly sad. These last two are really good supplements that kind of help you figure out what you're doing in a game. We've got Dooms to Go for the DJ who needs one more room to solidify their challenge for their players. You know, you go to Dooms to Go. Each one is just like a different room, a different little adventure. And the last one is X-Crawl Extras, an X-Crawl RPG resource. I don't know what those guys are doing with their little masks that are all numbered, but I'm pretty sure it's in here and it's pretty cool. There's cheat codes, there's new patrons, new monsters, new magic items, all that stuff. It's just great. I'm so excited for this. And then this last thing you get is a Goodman Games Gazette, and it's all about X-Crawl classics. There's an interview with Brendan LaSalle, and then there's like inspirations in there. I think it mentions the TV show I, Claudius from like the 70s or 80s. I can't remember where it's from. It is so exciting to have this game. And the cool thing is it uses the DCC dice. So I don't have to buy new dice. I already have 5 or 6 sets, uses the dice chain, all that good stuff. If you have any experience with Dungeon Crawl Classics, it's super easy to transition to this. Also, if you have very little experience with Dungeon Crawl Classics, it's also really easy to get a game running because the characters are so simple. Like a character sheet has the name, the class, the level, your hit points, your base stats, and then a couple things. There's not a big pile of feats. There's just gear and your person. Everything about this is just like so over the top and so cool. I really want to run a game, and I really hope that they make an adaptation for Foundry. Now, I don't see it happening anytime soon, but even if it was a Kickstarter or something, I would be backing that because I want to be able to run this online. This seems perfect for running as an online game, and I don't want to do all the work of converting Dungeon Crawl Classics in Foundry to this. So, dear Goodman Games, please make this available to Foundry. I'll give you money. I don't have much else to say about it. I want to thank you for watching, and with that, I'll see you next time.